My friend was Googling me, and under the search result, this is when I was still Lil Pointless. It was like Lil Pointless sexuality. It's like Lil Pointless Twitch, Lil Pointless YouTube, Lil Pointless sexuality. And I was like, that's not a content platform. What was my gay awakening? I always have these times in my life. I stop and I have a That's So Raven moment when I have like a revelation of like, oh my God, that was so gay of me. That was so gay of me. I identify as queer at this point. I mean, I think for a long time I was like comfortable with being bi, but over the years, my interest in men has like waned so much that I only am attracted to like V from BTS and Joji and like just like a plethora of fictional men. So I like queer as an umbrella term because I think bi, everyone is like, oh, like what's like 50-50, right? And it's like, no, it's looking more like 99.99999% now, like Purell, like hand sanitizer, like that's, I think, my attraction to women now. If you're not V from BTS, it's not looking good for you, mate. With all that said, like, I think sexuality is super fluid. Like, what I say right now doesn't mean that it's gonna stay the same tomorrow. Like, I might wake up tomorrow and be like, I wanna kiss a boy. Didn't really think about it in high school because it wasn't like the most liberal environment that I grew up in. Like, a lot of people were religious, but then I went to college. And I was like, oh my gosh, like women. And then I was like, oh my gosh, women. I came out very dramatically. I like literally wrote an article in my college newspaper about like intersectionality of being someone who's bi and also being like a person of color, because like that looks a lot different from being like a white queer person. Like there's a lot of like ways that the identities intersect. And I like dropped that essay. I was like, I'm bi, and like published it and like peaced out. Can I ask when I came out to my parents? Yes. So I think everyone in college knew that I was queer, and I wish I had a better story than like one day I woke up and I was like, do I like women? Yeah, I just like tried dating women and I was like, oh, I like women. And then like after that, there were a lot of things like in retrospect, I was like, why was I so obsessed with like Fifth Harmony? Like, why did I watch the Britney Spears episode of Glee so many times? Like, things started clicking and I was like, oh. With my parents, I was really scared to tell them because I was like financially dependent on them during college and I was like afraid they would cut me off because like, oh my God, surprise. I feel like with traditional-ish Asian parents, I was like very scared about how they would react because they like definitely had less progressive views than some of like people that I knew who were out to their parents. So every time I would go home, they would be like, oh, like, have you met your husband in college yet? And I'm like, eh. No, I did become a Fruit Loop in a world of Cheerios, and it was beautiful, and they're more colorful and fun. Anyway, I was scared, and so I didn't come out to them until after college, after I was making my own money. So I'm like fully financially dependent from my parents now, and I have been for like 3 years now since I graduated. And one time I had like a conference for work, funny enough, in Vegas. So it was like I chose chaos, I chose danger, and my mom came to visit, and I was like really like at that point I was so tired of it. Like I had just broken up with my like college girlfriend, and I was like, it became like more and more of a possibility that I was like, if I do end up with someone, it's probably not gonna be a dude. So yeah, she came to visit me in Vegas and we were at a restaurant. Like I really wanted to say something. I was just so tired of like not being open with her. I think we became friends as I got older and like less of a bitch. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember we were like sitting down at this like shitty Las Vegas restaurant, like in a mall, like in the Venetian. So like such a weird place because it's like fake Venice and the roof, the ceiling is like painted like you're outside and it's just like the weirdest vibes ever. And I was like, hey mom, like I wanted to tell you something. And she was like, what? And I was like so nervous, but I was like, I figured, you know, this is the best time because it's like, I don't have to be stuck with her at home. If I tell her, I can just like leave and I'm financially independent. Like it felt safe for me to do it. Yeah, I like told her, I was just like, by the way, I have something to tell you. Like, I'm like bi, I guess. And I just wanted to let you know because I felt like I think I don't even know if I like kept talking. I probably did because I'm a wordy bitch, but like just kind of left it at that. And she like looks at me and she's like, I was like so nervous. I was like I didn't know how she was gonna respond. She was like, oh, so that's why all your friends are gay. And I was like, what the fuck, mom? And she was like, yeah, I Googled it. I Googled one time, like, why are all of my daughter's friends gay? And then Google told me it's because she's gay. And I was like, no, she's had boyfriends. but this makes sense. And I was like, this is going really well. I was very afraid that, you know, my mom would like not talk to me for a while, or like, I don't even know what I thought would happen, like disown me at the worst. Moving on with the story, I was like, okay, like, yeah, a lot of my friends are gay, and just like, oh yeah. She was like trying to figure out what being bi was, and she was like, so you like girls and guys? And I was like, yeah. And like, you know, I also dated a girl for like 2 years, and she was like, huh, okay, not for me. I'm very straight, you know? I'm very straight. And she still says this to me all the time. She was like, I don't know how you do it. I'm so straight. I'm so straight. Like, I like men. And I'm like, good for you, mom. And then she looks at me, she's like, does your dad know? I was like, and she said, oh, well, I can tell him, you know, if you don't want to, and your stepdad. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God I don't have to be the one to say it. The rest of the night, like, we were just like, it was really nice because like, I felt, I think for the first time, like, that I could feel like fully myself with her. Like, you know, I think as an adult too, your relationships with your parents change a lot because partly like they get old, and it's like, they become kind of like, I don't know, they're just cute old people and like not like scary anymore, and you're like the capable person. And so it was like finding equal footing with her in general as a human, and also like being able to just like share all the parts of myself with her was really nice. It shouldn't hopefully change what they think about you as a person. You're like the same person you've always been, just now your wrist is limp. It's not a big difference. Now I hang out with my mom and she still wants me to find a husband because that's all she knows. I've always told her, and I like just hung out with her this weekend, and I was like, Mom, like, I don't like men that much. She like keeps trying to set me up with these like random people who are like unattractive and like awkward that are her like friends' kids. And I'm like, it's not gonna work, dude. She's like, I know, like, you know, I might as well try. And when she gets mad at me now, she goes like, I don't know why you're doing that. You know, at this rate, you're not gonna end up with anyone, man or woman. And I think that's how I know that, you know, all is good and fine. We're gonna be okay. And I think she's like come to terms with it. So I think that's what I think being queer is. It's like sometimes your family doesn't accept you. And that's why there's the concept of the chosen family, where, you know, your friends and your queer community become your family. And I think sometimes blood is not thicker than water. I think there's a lot to be said about finding a community and like finding a home in your friends and not necessarily even in your family. Now in 2022, like it's less difficult because obviously it's still difficult, but like versus I think when our parents were kids, I think my mom feels like everyone is gay now. And it's like, I feel like everyone has been gay. It's just there was no way to express it when you were growing up, mother. And I think also to like kind of top it all off with communities like gaming, where you don't see a lot of like non-men or like queer people, or like honestly even like the top streamers are all like, for all I know, like cis-het like white dudes. I'm very grateful for this community. Very grateful to like be able to talk about my experiences with y'all. And hopefully y'all get something from this. I don't know. My mom is like, Angela, stop posting videos where everyone knows you're gay. And I'm like, Mom, everyone knows I'm gay.